Welcome in, everybody, to leading off right here on Fantasy Pros. Happy opening day, everybody. It's me, Joey P, Joe Pisapia. With me today again is the Welsh, and it's baseball time. We did it. We made it. We're here. We got locked out, but we found the keys, Welsh, and somehow one of them eventually worked, and we opened the door to a season. Wow, what a beautiful metaphor I just opened this show with today, and we're brought to you by BetMGM, the king of sports books, and we're very happy that we're finally here talking baseball. And Welsh, we have a trade to break down today. We have a big discussion about Cody Bellinger. We're going to talk about some props for today, a little DFS, and of course begin the home run contest, which I know everybody loved last year. So it's time once again to see how the Peanuts and Cracker Jacks are going to screw me out of a championship. But Welsh, I'm excited. It's here. Baseball is upon us. Let's go, baby. How's it going,
crazy.
Baby?
It's crazy. I mean, through the last 3 or 4 months, what we dealt with, that we are sitting here right now about to watch baseball, about to bet on baseball, and about to micromanage our fantasy teams. It is mwah. But can I ask, how did you get screwed? How do you get screwed out of a home run contest? Isn't it pretty simple, Joe? You pick a guy, he hits a homer, you win. How did you get screwed?
It's funny you should ask. What happened was, because football gets so crazy around these parts,
What happened?
I just took Bryce Harper in perpetuity to stick with my theme. And then once everybody caught up to me and then passed me in that last week of the season, they also took Bryce Harper. And that's how that happened. So
that sounds like gamesmanship.
It is. I respect the Peanuts and Cracker Jacks, but I'm a little bitter. But we're going to turn that around this year.
Have you thought about
something nice? And then look what happens. They turn it around on you, Welsh.
Have you thought about having a rule where maybe you can't go 3 days in a row with the same player just to avoid that type of gamesmanship?
No, we haven't. But most of the time that doesn't happen anyway. But maybe, you know what? Maybe new rules have to show up here. So maybe that's true. Let's kick things off with the headlines, Welsh. And an opening day trade. You hardly ever see this. The Padres acquire Taylor Rogers and outfielder Brent Rooker from the Twins for right-handed pitcher Chris Paddock, Emilio Pagan, and a player to be named later. Always my favorite person. So it looks like the Padres have got their closer. So break down this trade for me. What does this mean for Paddock? And what does this mean for the Padres bullpen?
This is great for Paddock, especially for fantasy owners. Oh, I don't know, like me, who have all the shares of Chris Paddock. I love Chris Paddock, but he has been a little bit lost. He's been a primary two-pitch pitcher, fastball, changeup, started to try to develop a curveball back in 2019. Hasn't really found great success, but this is one of the premier changeup guys, and the fastball has just kind of ticked down a little bit. He was going to go to the bullpen, so for him to get presumably a starting role is amazing and fantastic. Divisionally, I don't know if I love it, but I like that he's going to continue to get a role to develop as a starter. I think that's huge. Taylor Rogers, I think we have to assume is going to take over the closer role immediately or at some point, which is good. And then it leaves this big open hole to what's going to happen in Minnesota. It could be Ancala, it could be Johan Duran. I think some have speculated on. They might go committee. It's interesting to see them trade their opening day closer unless they were going to move away from him. So there's a potential opening in Minnesota on the closer spot. Paddock starting, I think, is fantastic. So we'll see. It's a good trade. It makes a lot of sense. Paddock was just, relegated to the relief role. And I think this probably speaks some wonders to where Rogers really was in the back of the bullpen.
Yeah, agreed. I know you had some hope for Dinelson Lamet to potentially be that closer, so that kind of kills that. Wah wah wah. But that's baseball. That happens. It's why you don't pay for closers, boys and girls, because you just never know what's going to happen. Look, day one, we already got a closer change.
You don't pay for the sucky closers. I think you pay up for the high guys. Yeah.
The Boston Red Sox are trying to make Rafael Devers a very high-paid guy, but he turned down an extension offer. What does this mean, Welsh?
You see this? Podcast listeners can't hear. This is the sound of me rubbing fingers for money, money, money. All it means is he wants big money. I think a prime example, if anyone were to start freaking out, think of the Jose Ramirez stuff. They couldn't get it done. They couldn't get it done. Oh, he's going to get traded to the Padres, and then they got it done. Devers wants $300 million. He wants 300 plus. And I'll bet you the Red Sox were coming in low twos and the market value didn't make sense. He's a, mid-20s star third baseman in a big team. He wants all the monies. And they're probably not offering all the monies because they've got a team with a payroll of guys like Xander Bogaerts and they're paying JD Martinez. So I assume they'll get it done. But all this is you are not close to the money that I want. And to me at this point, that means the three bills, the 300 million.
I'd like 300 million too. That sounds like that's a nice round
I'd like
number.
$300 would be great right now.
$300. You're settling too low. Let's be in the middle. 300,000. We'll split it. You and me.
Great. You know what? Deal.
Done. The Welsh was right. Mackenzie Gore goes to AAA. So you nailed that one, Welsh, for those of us who had some thoughts. So the Padres very busy today because also CJ Abrams expected to make the opening day roster. And then the Brewers officially place Luis Urias on the IL with a quad. So we already have 1 day in, and we already have 1 day into the IL. So no surprise about that. Now, in terms of Abrams, what are your expectations? He's been a guy I've been getting a lot of Twitter questions about. I love the talent. I think this is a great opportunity for him to get up there for a few months and play. If you're going to put him on the roster, you need to play him every day or at least 5 days a week or something in that range, I think, just because you won't want the kid to sit around. You want him to develop, even if it's at the major league level. So what do you think about Abrams?
I don't know. I mean, I think he's an immense talent. I love the contact skills. He's one of the fastest players I've ever seen in person. He's grown into his body a little bit more. He can hit for power regardless of being, there's like a little bit of a smaller, frame, if you will. But I just don't know what the Padres' true plan is. I kind of feel bad, to be honest with you. Every other prospect got like the red carpet rolled out for them. They're like, Bobby Witt, here's a video, and Julio Rodriguez. They still haven't even announced that CJ Abrams made the roster. There's no announcement. It's like a girlfriend that's like completely embarrassed to have you as their boyfriend. Like, I don't know what they're doing and why, but I don't know what the plan is fully going to be. Had they traded like Will Myers or Hosmer in this Twins trade, that might have been a little bit different for me. They still have just a whole bunch of bodies, and I don't know if he's going to play every day. And I'm not crazy optimistic about this early run, but he's one of those guys that I think I just need to see a whole bunch of. I would speculate. We had some Twitter questions on people with roster construction, and someone had tweeted us, roster, like even a 10-man league that had really questionable bench players. And my point, and I think you kind of agreed with me, was like, hey, listen, don't get those like fringy veteran bench players at the beginning of the year. Go get any of the study type of guys. And sure enough, that guy had Bryson Stott was sitting on the wire. Go pick up those guys to see if they really give the run. I don't think CJ Abrams is going to play every single day to start, which makes me a little bit timid, but you should speculate. You should go and speculate on those guys if they're sitting on the wire, regardless of the situation. Even in a 10-man league, Bryson Stott was the pickup for that guy in a 10-man league.
Agreed. And not only that, if the guy has a good early run in April and you really don't believe him anyway, then you flip him in a redraft league. I mean, that's the whole point. Exactly. It's like you have nothing to lose. The worst case scenario is they suck. They get sent down and you drop them for another one of those steady, boring players that you mentioned that were on the roster before. So that's the way you play.
I'm very much about that game too, by the way, like moving young prospects at the peak in a redraft. Like, I don't really have the big need to hold on. Even if I had drafted Julio or Spencer Torkelson or any of those guys, I don't feel the big need. If someone wants to come in hot for one of those guys, I would move them, because the downside for young guys in rookie years is pretty immense. Like, they're going to go through struggles. I expect most of these players to go through some significant struggles, Julio and Torkelson alike.
All right. Those are the headlines for today on opening day. Let's move on to, can we talk about this? I want to talk about this because Cody Bellinger's spring has not been good. I saw our friend Vlad Sedler say that I think he saw him in the last draft of NFBC go somewhere in the 260s or something crazy like that.
212, I think he said it was.
212. I don't know. It was something absurd. Cody Bellinger this spring, 13 games, 37 plate appearances, 18 strikeouts, 1 walk, hitting a $139. He has 5 hits in those 37 plate appearances. So it's ugly right now. I know you can make the conversation about, well, he's a guy trying to work on different things in his swing and all that nonsense. And at the end of the day, you want to see something, considering last year was such a debacle for him. Where do we stand on opening day with Cody Bellinger? What are your predictions for him?
I mean, don't ask me. I'm the apologist. I'm like Vlad.
But I have to. You're the only other person here.
But I'm just saying,
I guess here's a better question.
I'm a sick apologist.
This is that rather than be an apologist, let's say this. Is this the absolute time in dynasty keeper formats to pounce on Cody Bellinger because you have nothing to lose? Or is it the inverse? Is this the time where this might be the last time to get out from Cody Bellinger?
I mean, it might be both. I mean, it's a great question on which, like, I think in my mind, I want to buy. He's 20, I think 6 years old. I think there's still a lot of like going into spring. Like if the spring stats are the thing that took you off of Cody Bellinger, you were never there. Don't let what happened in spring training be the thing that puts you over the edge. Well, now I'm out on Cody Bellinger. It's ridiculous to me that he could go inside the top 100 and then because he struck out in spring, he drops outside the 200. That's just reactionary stuff. Have your side, have your take in it. He's openly talked about making multiple adjustments. He wanted to get the punchies out, as he called them, during spring. I think this little added, insane spring of negativity is the time to buy on him. I don't think the sell time, if you own him, is great. So when you say, is this the last time to get out? No, it's not, because Bellinger is unique in that, like, he could just suck for 2 months. And then if he goes off and he pops off for 3 weeks, everyone will be like, we're back. He's not done. So no, this is actually, now that I'm thinking about it, this is the worst time to trade him, but it's a great time to trade for him and speculate if you can meet at that lower cost. But I know
agree.
That's me. You don't like him.
But you know me, I'm everybody in their place, right? And this is the time where I look back and I go, okay, this guy can have a 40 home run season. Is that likely? Probably not. But you know what? In those dynasty keeper formats, if I can get him for nothing, if somebody's just desperate to get rid of him, I take him and I see what's happening because he's still young enough. If he was 32 years old, that would be a different story. So sure. I think that's different. We're looking right now in some of the comments here. Robert Chavez says, thank you, Joe and Chris, for going live now at 9 a.m. Pacific time, obviously noon Eastern time, because I've always wanted to be a peanut and a Cracker Jack, and I was never awake at that hour. So you're welcome. See, look, we're making everybody happy. Wonky Penguin says it feels like the time it's getting this time of year. It doesn't look like a time to be trading for Cody Bellinger. We've also got some other comments here. A lot of people are negative on Cody Bellinger, and I can understand why.
It's understandable.
He's earned it. And you know what's funny? If you remember a couple years ago, he had a down tick and then he rebounded, and a lot of people were kind of pissed off that they traded him. So it's going to be a very interesting make or break. I think April, May is going to determine a lot for the Bellinger value, but it's great to see all these people here. It's great to see everybody live with us today. Let's move on to the next topic here. And obviously we're going to do our little fun today in baseball. 1984, Tigers right-hander Jack Morris no-hits the White Sox 4-0 at Comiskey Park, walking 6 guys and striking out 8 is a quintessential Jack Morris line, right? I love Jack Morris, 80s pitcher. Fantastic mustache. Welsh was too young. He doesn't remember Jack Morris. He remembers Jack Morris as the Twins.
Was it 84? Right? You said
84.
I was 1. I was 1 year old.
You don't remember it then?
No, I don't. That reminds me. It's a very Edwin Jackson like no hitter. Where remember Edwin Jackson with the Diamondbacks? It was like 130 pitches, like 8 walks and whatever strikeouts, and then it's like, ooh, and he got a no hitter. It's like the least exciting no hitter on the planet. That's that good old 80s no hitter.
Good old 80s no-hitter. Now, look, today, obviously, we've got some fun games out there. We know some games have already been moved in terms of time. We know some games have already been moved a whole other day because of the rain. And it's pouring down.
Wouldn't it be cool if there's a solution for that?
New Jersey.
Wouldn't it be awesome if baseball could figure out what do you think a solution would be? If you were the commissioner, I know this is a crazy thought. I don't know what we would do, but like, what would you do to fix this problem? I know it's really difficult.
What, to have baseball in all dome stadiums, or just open in warm weather places?
You would close you would have like roofs and stuff for weather. That's a crazy idea. That's a crazy innovative idea. Oh, you mean like the big stadiums that they spend billions of dollars for right now? Just put a roof on it.
That's another billion to put a roof on that bad
What's
boy.
another?
I don't know why.
Exactly. Just charge it to the public.
Start the teams on the East Coast on the West Coast. So you don't have to worry about this stuff. Get that out of the way early. Those trips. I don't know. I don't know why they don't do this. But anyway,
put an umbrella over it.
Regardless. So even though today we don't have a lot of baseball to report on, that'll be tomorrow. We'll have our heroes for the stat sheet. We'll have our zeros for the stat sheet, and we will do home run calls later in the show as we teased. But we are going to talk some prop bets today because, as you know, we have a new sponsor, and that's BetMGM, which is very exciting. And BetMGM also has a new offer. So enjoy all your favorite sports like never before. At BetMGM, sign up using the code LEADINGOFF. That's one word, leading off. And your first wager is risk-free up to $1,000. And also new for opening day, now you can bet $10 and win $200 when you bet on any game, regardless of the outcome, when you register With BetMGM, you'll get instant access to a variety of parlays, selection features, live betting options, and player props and daily boosted odds specials. And with BetMGM at your fingertips, every play, every game will matter even more. Sign up today and find out why nothing beats a win at the king of sportsbooks at BetMGM, our sponsor of our show. We love BetMGM, and because we do so much, Chris. That's right. We got the crown up there. Now, because we love the king of sportsbooks so much, let's talk about what we have over at Betting Pros, was that prop bet cheat sheet. I pulled up some of the top things today to discuss the 3 top pitcher props, the 3 top hitter props that were out there, and what we have at Betting Pros on that side. There's a thing called the prop bet cheat sheet. It takes all the fantasy projections and matches them up to the lines and tells you where the biggest variance is and says basically, hey, go bet this, you can win some money. So today we have Shohei Ohtani, the K prop right now for him as a pretty big variance. And I think that's something to pay attention to. Right now he's projected at 6.99. That's a difference in terms of the projection of over 2.5 from what the prop is set. Wow. So that is something you can bet at BetMGM right now. You can also look at Shane Bieber, who has got 6.5 on that number, and he is projected for 8.5. Pardon me, Ohtani's got a 4.5 K prop line, which is really low. I would jump in on that one for sure. Shane Bieber's at 6.5. Projection has him at 8.3. And then Framber Valdez is set at 4.5, and he's at 6.36 today against the Angels. So of these 3, which one sticks out to you? You like the Ohtani prop, you like the Bieber, or you like the Valdez? To me, the Ohtani one really pops.
Yeah, well, I got a couple things here. The Ohtani one is really, really enticing with Astros' ability to strike out, and only at 4.5. The thing that could be tricky is Ohtani can sometimes fall apart a little bit. They might not want him to go deep into games early on. So if I had to pick one of those, I'd actually probably go with the Bieber one at 6.5. But Joe, I will tell you, it's funny that you pick these 3 because number 4 on the list, I have already bet. I bet this one yesterday.
Which one you got?
And Tyler Mahle at 4.5 strikeouts. It's around I think I got it at minus 135. They're projected at 6, and he's up against the Braves. And those free swinging Braves, I love this marker. Tyler Mahle's been striking out guys at an over 9K, 9 strikeouts per 9 clip all spring training. And this is a really low number for just a sneaky good pitcher that put out there. So of your guys, I'm probably going to go Bieber, even though Ohtani is the sexiest number, but go down one more. And I have personally already put down, I have 4 bets on the table for today, and Tyler Mahle strikeout prop is one of them.
Man, even if Ohtani only throws 5 innings, I can't imagine I'm not getting 5 strikeouts in those 5 innings. So the 4.5 number to me is my favorite one. I like that. Wonky Penguin says, as a taxpayer in Minnesota, I'd kick in another $1 billion for a retractable roof. Also, Dr. Glenn thinks I should grow an 80s pitcher mustache like Jack Morris. So
I think that's a fantastic idea. I would love to see.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it would be very off-putting for my children would not to care for that. I've never seen my father without a mustache. My entire life, he's had a mustache. He's like Tom Selleck. Actually, no, I didn't like Tom Selleck because Tom Selleck shaved his mustache for a period. Never seen my father without a mustache.
You should do it.
I don't even know if he's got an upper lip. You think I should? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think the girls would probably love it.
Big Jack Morris one, yeah.
Oh, man, I see. Okay, I'm just saying, maybe starting right now, shave all of that, rock the mustache. I would try it, but my facial hair grows in all crappy, and my wife would literally kick me out of the house. This is gonna go tomorrow or Monday. You'll see a different version of Welsh.
Pickles says that that mustache would be very off-putting, so Pickles does not want to see that. You know what? I know the Peanuts and the Cracker Jacks love the and those are our fans of the show. I know they love the Photoshop, so please take a picture of Joey P, put a Jack Morris mustache on there, and let me at least preview it. Well, they have those Snapchat filters now where you can see what you would look like if you were
a big old Yosemite Sam. You're like, hey there, everybody.
Yeah, hey, what do I look like with the Jack Morris mustache? That's what I want to see. All right, let's move on to the hitter props today. Juan Soto for total bases at BetMGM is at 1.5. The projection for him is 2.8. Andrew Benintendi has an interesting one too. It's just at 0.50, and the projection for him is at 1.83. And then Marcana also this was at DraftKings. This one was at 1.76 projection, but just 0.5. So to me, that Juan Soto one at 1.5, yeah, it's a little higher, the total bases, but man, it's Juan Soto. Taylor McGill or Tyler the Conqueror, as I like to call him here on the show. He's going to be pitching for the Mets. So what do you think about this one here? The Juan Soto one? You like the Benintendi one from BetMGM? We like the Marcana one.
And I've got one extra one that I actually also bet, but I
love
really
the
like
Welsh
this
special.
Yeah, I like this one. It is a Welsh special. This Juan Soto one actually really stands out to me when you go over to the cheat sheet on Betting Pros. I did peruse it yesterday. I hadn't perused it earlier this morning before the show, but now that it's all filled out with the projections. But I really like that. And that 1.5 over on total bases pays plus money. It's plus 135. And you're getting walks, you're getting hits, you're one double, and he's hit this against a guy like Tyler McGill. I love that Juan Soto one. I think I might solo bet that just because of the odds. The one that I already put down, it's actually not on this list here, but it's Nolan Arenado total bases. And it's kind of funny.
I saw that one.
Yeah, up against Brubaker, he has 12 plate appearances. He has 11 total at bats because he has one walk, he has one homer, but he has 4 doubles versus the guy. So he hits over 400 versus Brubaker. Every single one of them are extra base hits. I took Nolan Arenado plus 1.5 total bases as a bet that I actually parlayed with Ketel Marte to have a hit. So I put those two together, and I will probably jump in on this Juan Soto one as well, because I think the cheat sheet makes that one really, really pop. And I like the total base. The hit markers, fun. Homers is sexy, but total bases, you cover your bases in a lot of different places. And like a patient hitter that can draw walks like Juan Soto, he could have 2 walks, and you've hit this as well. So I really like that one.
I like this here from our Peanuts and Cracker Jacks. Go Cards says Benintendi owns Bieber. 563, 588, 1000 OPS for his career against Bieber. So interesting little tidbit there. See, look, we don't even have to do research for the show because we've got our audience to do it for us, which is great. I'm all for that. And again, just clearing this up, his name is Tyler McGill, Tyler the Terrible, because that's how his parents named him. So those are all some fun prop bets out there that you can bet right now. BetMGM. And if you sign up, use that promo code leading off again, because that's our sponsor. We want to give them some love. So let's move along and let's talk a little bit about the DFS slate today. You have Adam Wainwright taking the mound. I want to talk about DraftKings first. It's 7.5. I think that's a pretty good value against the Pirates. Wainwright coming off, honestly, a good year and a half of pitching. I mean, I'm waiting for the shoe to drop, because he's 174 years old, but until it does, I'm just going to keep going to this well, and he's a cheap secondary arm. Bieber at the top at 8.3. I think you can always go there. Certainly some strikeouts to be had in that Royals lineup, we know. And then it comes to 2 guys who I think are grossly, or should I say strangely priced, maybe not underpriced. Robbie Ray's underpriced at 6.3 today against the Twins, but that one's not on. But Patrick Corbin at 6.7 is the one I want to talk about, because he had a spectacular spring. 0.88 whip, 10 strikeouts. He gave up 1 home run, but only 2 walks in the 9 innings that he had. So this is the Patrick Corbin we saw a couple years ago in Washington, the Patrick Corbin we saw a few years ago, even before that, in Arizona. If Patrick Corbin is back, is he going to be this year's potential Carlos Rodon, that guy that people just plucked off the waiver wire or drafted with their last pick, that really could have a huge impact on fantasy leagues?
I mean, it'll be mine specifically. I have all the shares of Patrick Corbin. The only difference is like, I always feel like he's limited because he's just like such a 2-pitch pitcher. He's just one of those guys. Like, Rodon, you go and look and you're just like, oh man, the stuff, it's really coming together. Like, Corbin's just always limited. Like, those 2 pitches, they have to be going elite. Like, a slider's got to be elite to set up the fastball. But to your point though, what you're saying, is he going to be the guy that is going to be like a league winner? Like, sure, because he was free. He might be on the wire for people, or, you took him at the back end of every draft like I did. I literally he's one of my highest shared players this year, and pure speculation because he's cheap. I don't know if I'd want to throw him out today, but it's a really good price. I'd be curious what Tyler Mahle actually is as well. I just keep throwing that one back out with the strikeout numbers. Tyler Mahle, Shane Bieber, those would be 2 I might be focused on as far as
Mahle going against Max Fried. I think that's an Oppo tournament play. It's 7.7K over on DK.
Oh, 7.7.
I think it's more of an Oppo play. Yeah,
Corbin's a much better deal then. I thought Mahle might be cheaper, but no, okay. That's
Corbin's $1,000 difference. And against the Mets, why not? Why not give it a shot?
Yeah, good point.
On the FanDuel side, in cash, I would pay up for Max Fried in this one at 9.3K. I think that Braves team at home, getting to hoist the banner. I think it's going to be a very positive day for the Braves, and more to come on them later. Yu Darvish at 9.4K. Welsh is going to be in that building tonight with our own
I
Scott
will be
Bogman.
there tonight. Yep.
I
Me and Bogman will be
live
signing
streaming
autographs.
to happen.
We'll be signing
Oh,
autographs
you can sign autographs
to all our fans that come out. We're going to be signing autographs and taking pictures. No, we'll just be going to the game. Yeah, but we will be there. Yeah.
To all of your fans.
I'm so excited, by the way.
Look,
I've been opening day in like years and years, and it's Bumgarner versus Darvish. Bogman flew in from Texas. Me and him are going to be there tonight with a crew watching Ketel Marte and Manny Machado. It's going to be fantastic, and there'll be videos, and we'll be doing all this stuff for sure.
So Wainwright also for me tracks on FanDuel and DraftKings. Wainwright's 8K. He allows you to do a lot. Again, safer. You're playing more for the win there. But I think Darvish against that lineup in Arizona, that's certainly one. And Max Fried, I think, is a simple one. So I would play the cash today. Wainwright would be that one guy. If you want to go to Corbin, you can do that also on FanDuel. Let's talk about game stacks today. I've got St. Louis, San Diego, and Atlanta. Again, I really like Atlanta today. Just going to keep pounding the table for them. Any other stacks stand out to you, Welsh, when you're looking at the board?
I like the San Diego stack. I think you put that on here. I like the San Diego one. Even though he's a lefty, Cronenworth has been pretty successful against Bumgarner. Bumgarner had a nice little velocity uptick, but I've been to so many home series with the Diamondbacks where they just fall apart. So I would not be afraid to stack up on some of those Padres.
Now, my favorite lineup builder got canceled, as you were talking about. So, unfortunately, Adam Frazier is not going to be available today. But on DraftKings, I want to point out that Luke Voit in the middle of that order today in that game against the Diamondbacks, just 3.5K on DraftKings.
Yeah,
I'll be putting him in a lot of lineups. I like this matchup here against Bumgarner for him. And then on FanDuel, I've got a lot. Got Bobby Witt at just 2.4. Dylan Carlson, who I believe is leading off today, I saw at 2.9. Luke Voit also cheap on FanDuel, 2.5, and Eddie Rosario at 2.9. Those are some guys that you can really use as some lineup builders. Good spots in the order, lots of opportunity, to score some runs, to get on base. So I like those guys, and some pop there too. Bobby Witt, especially. Always look at those rookies early on FanDuel, especially. They really underprice them, and that's the time you want to get in on them before everybody else, because the roster percentage is going to be a lot lower. All right, Welsh, I know you've given this a lot of thought. This is your first time, so we're going to be gentle with you. Tell me, home run call of the night. This is your first one, so I'm giving you the entire board because I want you to have a good experience here at leading off. So we want to start things off right. I want you to go yard tonight. I want to go yard tonight. And I want maybe one or two peanuts and Cracker Jacks to go yard just to make it interesting. I kid. I want you all to go yard. I want.
By the way, maybe because I'm new to it, and you could point out to maybe people that are not full-fledged Cracker Jacks here. How do people enter the home run? Like, where are they entering the home run contest, and how would they do so?
It's funny you should mention that, Welsh, because you can become a peanut and a Cracker Jack yourself by joining our Discord channel at fantasypros.com/chat. And it's free to join. And we have our little channel there for the home run calls. So if you want to get in on this from the ground floor, last year, this started off as a contest just between Dan and myself. And then people said, hey, we wanted a piece of this. And we ended up bringing everybody in. And you know what? It was a good time. So peanuts and Cracker Jacks, you want to get in, and we gave out some fabulous prizes, I think, too. I think this year we're going to have some fabulous prizes as well for those who win.
Sweet.
Or steal the contest away from me, however you want to phrase that. I'm not bitter. I am not.
Totally.
But anyway, the home run contest, it's very easy. You can go in and make your call in the home run channel. There's a way to do it. There's a robot for it. It's spectacular. Mike Mayer built it in his garage. Again, that's at fantasypros.com/chat. Go in there, join up, and then join the MLB podcast channel and look for the home run channel. It's in there as well. And we can help you on the Twitter machine find it if you're having trouble. But that's how you become a part of it. And you want to get off to a good start. You don't want to fall behind. So get in there on day one in our Discord and join that, because football is fun and stages is fun. Welsh is having a stages, I think, tomorrow?
No, today. It's going to be today at 3 p.m. Eastern. So a couple hours.
That's where you could talk to Welsh. You could talk to Welsh live. What a beautiful thing. All right, Welsh. Make your home run call. Who's going yard tonight, opening day?
All right. Yeah, I know we have the whole pool and we could get sexy with all the names, but I'm going to go back to the last episode we did, and I talked about some big, bold predictions. And one of my, crazy, nutty, bold predictions was 3 players were going to hit 50 homers this year. But one of those players is the Franmil Reyes. Big bomb tonight. I don't know if it'll be against Greinke. Might be when relief comes in. But give me Franmil Reyes with the Guardians for my big fly.
I like that. I like you're staying on brand from yesterday's big Frenimal prediction. I like that. And I'm going to stay on brand too with the Atlanta Braves. Freddie Freeman, who? Matt Olson goes yard today. That's right. It's a good matchup for him. His first shot here as a Brave. The boy goes home to his home state of Georgia. What a beautiful day to hit a home run. Give me Matt Olson. Welsh has Franmil Reyes. Who do you have? Go to the Discord channel and figure that out. Go join us at fantasypros.com/chat and make your home run call today. Welsh, any final thoughts here before we close things out?
Baseball's here. Enjoy it. Whatever your context is going to be, make some bets. Don't go crazy with all of the bets. Maybe don't bet a whole lot of run lines if you're going to do that. First 5 is your friend. That is one of the bets I've got going on today. And I'm going to be at opening day. I don't know about you guys. I don't know what all your plans are. I will be doing a stages at 3. I'm going to catch up with Bogman to watch games. And then I'm going to be at Chase Field watching you, Darvish and Madison Bumgarner, just be jealous. And follow me at Is It The Welsh so you can see all of my tweets and, maybe Bogman and I can get pictures with players. Let's try to do that.
And look, if you're not and you're playing in Dynasty, you should absolutely be following the Welsh too, because Prospect One podcast he does where he interviews all the prospects and he's got all the inside information on it. It's fantastic. So Is It The Welsh is the place to be. You can follow me at Joe Pisapia 17. We'll be back again tomorrow with actual baseball stats to recap, which is really exciting. In the meantime, we hope you enjoyed Leading Off, brought to you by BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. Make sure you join up using that code Leading Off when you join BetMGM. That'll do it for us, but the story of the game goes on. For the Welsh, I'm Joey P. Happy opening day, everybody. We'll see you next time, kids.